Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of the Crass and Class podcast. My name is Irie TV, and this is my co-host, Dapper Chap. And we're going to be following up on our last podcast here. As far as if you had tuned in, we were doing the top 50 games of all time off of a list of IGN. We did 50 through 26, and then today we're going to be doing our 25 through number 1.
I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of games I'm hoping that'll be in the top 25 that I maybe didn't see in the top 50, and there's some things that I'm worried about too. I'm not going to be lying. I'm sure we'll be crucified on some of the games, and some of the games maybe we feel that aren't in the right spots. But you know what? It should be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. Welcome everybody. Ready to go.
Yep. And in general, I think as far as on our last one between the 25 and 50, 26 and 50, there was a lot of differences between Dapper and I. So we'll see if that continues forward for this one as far as on our 25 through number 1. In general, though, the overall breakdown, we saw some that possibly that we thought could be top 20, top 10 that were not even in the top 25. So I don't know. So we'll continue forward and we'll go ahead and get started here. Legend of Zelda. I feel like we're gonna see a lot of. I feel like we're gonna see a lot of Zelda in the top 25 in the first place.
Probably, and I'm gonna get some flack on this one. I think Ocarina of Time is good, but I don't think it's the best.
I don't think it even should be 25, but
we're prepared to be flamed.
I'm cool with Zelda as a whole. Like if I see like Breath of the Wild, like the newer one, if that's in the top 5, I probably wouldn't even be upset about that.
It was the first like our 3D RPG like Zelda, and there's some cool elements with the ocarina itself, adding some depth and riding your horse Epona through the like. There's a lot of game breaking things that this game did and elevated the Legend of Zelda franchise as a whole. It just isn't my favorite. If I wanted to play Legend,
I just thought it was a stepping stone, just like what you said.
Yeah.
It like I think it's what kind of like jump started the series and what made it kind of people latch onto it. But I think that nostalgia is why this is put so high, and I don't agree with where it's at. I think it should be like
30.
I don't even know. I'm like 40 to 50. Honestly, as a game, I mean, we're not talking about genre. We're talking about a game. I don't agree with the game. Like I'm cool with it being nostalgic, and that overall breakdown is, like I said, it jump started the series. I just don't agree with the game where it's being played.
I mean, it deserves its spot, and there are people that argue it's love to the day they die. For me, it wasn't. I don't think it's top 25 of all time.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. Don't be wrong. I don't think you're saying that either. I'm not saying it's bad. It's a fun game. It's just I think it's just not overhyped. It's just I think that nostalgic feeling that people get. That's why they think it's so high. Like if you go back and play it today, that's what I always base all of my stuff off of. Is just like you go back and play that today, and you tell me that that's still a really good game comparatively to what you've run into today. Like I don't know, we go play that and then go play Breath of the Wild. I guess is my point.
Tell me which one you like more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but anyways, 24. Wow,
24 for Minecraft.
That low?
I think it's perfectly slotted. But then again, I haven't played Minecraft, though. I've played some of the things that is created genre-wise, i.e. Ark, Rust, 7 Days to Die, DayZ. Like I've played all those survival games and things of that nature. Like
this is the flagship survival.
It is.
You're talking about the game that literally took Fortnite and put it to its knees for about like 2 months there because people are like, let's go fucking do BR on Minecraft, guys. Battle Royale on Minecraft, okay?
To me, it's like let's go play Legos. I'm not a fan.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like I'd play it here and there, and it's somewhat fun. Like it's okay, but the overall breakdown as far as the game, I mean, you're talking about this game like literally revolutionized like as far as overall video games and survival as a whole. We're talking about like, this game is like every kid's go-to before Fortnite.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, before Fortnite or any other like survival game, and hell, let's be real here.
No, I'm saying as a game. Like, you talk about the craze behind Fortnite, this is that game, and it's still kind of there.
I mean, I don't think it deserves 24. I'd put it down in the 30 ranks, but
I don't agree with that. I think it should be top 10. I mean, as a game of all time. Like, you're talking about... No, it's not visually appeasing. It's not meant to be. I get that. I think as far as an impactful game and the overall breakdown of what you can do within that game... as far as the just kind of wide world and the multiple things that you can do as far as on what you want to do with it, that's what makes the game kind of intriguing and kind of cool. And that was the first as far as who kind of, again, flagshipped it and made it happen. and people still to this day, you talk about a game that literally people, one of the top played games, 2009 to 2020, 11 years. What other game are you going to talk about that does that same thing?
And I'm not going to argue that its longevity is not like, important in this game. I just don't think it's top 10 material. I think it is good. Maybe, and top 20 seems to be fine for it. I mean, I'd even.
I'm curious what's else in top 20 or top 10.
Yeah.
I think it should be top 20. Either way.
All right.
Like, I'm cool if I see different things in top 10. Maybe I'll change my mind here, but I don't know. I feel like that's low.
All right.
Halo Combat Evolved.
There's
All right.
CE.
All right.
Go ahead.
Halo revolutionized console FPSs, hands down. There's nothing else that you can really compare it to. You talk about Call of Duty basically started up shortly after, or maybe even actually it was before Halo. I guess I don't know which one came first, but Halo was pretty much the predominant thing that everyone was kind of into back then. Halo Combat Evolved, for anybody who didn't play it, again, I referenced it a little while ago, but played it on a 13-inch tube TV, little silver fucker, and just played the shit out of the campaign on Halo Combat Evolved. And 23, I'm cool. I don't think it's a top 10 game of all time as far as a game. Again, we're not talking about series or genres. I think as a whole, the overall campaign was a blast. I think that's probably actually the funnest campaign as far as on any Halo series. Every single Halo series after this one, I personally went through it and played it on Legendary, this one by myself, and then every single one after that, we had a group of 4 people. We went and played the campaign, Halo 2, 3, Reach, and Halo 4, all in unison as far as we really would just go play Legendary and beat it as quick as we could. Yeah. So, it kind of resonates with me, and I think, for Halo, like, that's top 10 for me. Same thing like you said earlier, but I'm cool with where it's at on the list here.
And I agree. Like, Halo, like, it revolutionized the console FPS market. Like, there wasn't much of one. Call of Duty was like pretty much the only one. And then you come out with like a futuristic sci-fi. You know what I mean? Like, our FPS, and people just went bananas and ate it up. And then it spawned, a series like with Rooster Teeth, Red versus Blue. And,
yes, Red versus Blue. If you never checked it out, go watch. It's hilarious.
It is fantastic, and I don't even like Halo.
Yes, it's hilarious. Funny.
It is so good. It just, for me, like, I'm okay with its spot because it did earn its stripes and it did create an impact on the FPS genre as a whole. I can't deny that. Like, that would.
Halo 2 has to be higher than this, though. It has to be on this list easily. It's going to be on this list. I promise you it's going to be on this list.
The only fun I ever had playing Combat Evolved was Blood Gulch with freaking pistols.
And Halo Combat Evolved was fun. Don't get me wrong. Halo 2, if they didn't put if they put Halo 2 above Combat Evolved, I don't understand. I really don't. Combat Evolved, you didn't have online play. Keep that in mind. That wasn't a thing. It was LAN. Yep. It was LAN. Halo 2 was when it actually that was big time. That's what actually cemented it, was the online gameplay.
Right.
It has to be higher than it has to be on this list. If it's not, IGN's wrong.
I think 23 is fine.
But I'm cool with where Halo Combat Evolved is. I'm not even saying like Halo 2 should be higher. I'm just saying that it has to be better than. Yeah, it has to be ahead of. It has to be further than this one.
All right.
Half-Life 22.
Half-Life. Yes.
I'm cool.
Favorite crowbar wielding, guy.
I'm surprised not top 15.
Yeah, actually, I am too. To be honest with
you. At least. Yeah, I don't know. 1998, I think it's a game that's like everyone kind of knows about. I think everyone's pretty much played it. I guess if you have a PC, I mean, I don't know anybody who really hasn't played it.
Are you living under a rock if you haven't heard of this game? Like, seriously, welcome to 2020.
Welcome to 1998 plus 22 years, or in Dapper's, math, 8 years.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's everybody's, non-speaking protagonist with a crowbar, freaking Gordon Freeman. What can you say? I had a lot of fun playing this game growing up, and it led to the mods leading to, Team Fortress and 100 other different styles of gameplay off of it. Prop hunt to freaking, God, what else there's so many mods you could do with this, and it was just a lot of fun. It deserves a spot in the top 20. I'm surprised it's not higher. I would put it in the top 15.
Yeah, that's why I'd say top 15. I guess myself.
Set the bar for FPS on PCs in general, as well as the campaign. Like, the story and everything regarding it was excellent as well. Not much more to say. It deserves and to me, it deserves a higher spot, but it definitely.
I'm cool
is
with where it's at, but it should be higher. Like in my opinion,
a hallmark staple of FPS on PC.
Yep, definitely. 21, Metal Gear Solid. I don't think there's much else to say. I don't really care. We already talked about it. I don't think there's really much else to say about Metal Gear Solid.
It's Kojima
sure,
again.
3. I mean, yeah. I don't know, guys. I think we're both on the same thing here. Just like this, just not a good game for us.
It's not.
I'm cool. 21, sure. I've heard that this is the best one in the series.
But it's hard to on this. I think that no matter what we do, there's going to be some subjectivity to this.
Yeah, I'm cool with where it's at though. If this is the highest game, I've heard that this is the best one. As far as from what I see, I've watched a lot of people stream it too. As far as as far as Metal Gear Solid 3, and that's what pretty much the unanimous answer. I hear that.
Blow us apart in the comments.
I'm cool though. 21. If that's the highest one, I'm cool. Then you can stop there. Metal Gear Solid. Don't go any higher.
Just keep going.
The Last of Us.
Okay, top 20. I think this is fine for the 20 entries because this blew my friggin' socks off. Did you play this game?
No, but I probably watched more streams of it than you probably played the game.
That's probably fair.
I probably at least watched 150 hours of it.
Is heartbreakingly beautiful in every single capacity.
I thought it was visually stunning. Like, to me, I thought it was absolutely crazy in 2013. For me, that was absolutely nuts, the graphics of the game.
It was bordering on uncanny valley. You're absolutely 100% correct.
Even today, like that's good graphic. I mean, just look at the picture here. Like, it's not cinematic, it's the game. Like, I mean, I don't know.
And Joel and Ellie's story is... If you want a meme to go with it to honestly tell you how to feel about it, I think it's like her name's like Negrorgrix or something like that. I don't remember her name. But like it's a scene that's even on Twitch, and it's like she's crying, right? And like having a moment, and then you see this little bunny hopping through the field, and all of a sudden you see the arrow just come out of nowhere and kill a rabbit, and she squeals in terror. That is how heartrending this game is, and it's so good. Oh, it's a third-person action survival horror game. Clickers, man, clickers are a special breed of nightmare fuel, and it's just good. Bottom line, it deserves its 20 spot. Play it. If you haven't played it, play it.
If I haven't played it, again, I'm cool with where it's at. I think as far as the game, it was really, really good, really well made. But
very excellent.
Doom.
The OG breaks the top 20. All right, go ahead, man.
Again, first of all, I mean, I'm just surprised it's not higher. Again, top 15 material to me. You're talking about 1993 and the new release, like they still come back to the fact that this game, I mean, like I would even say that this game was better than the new. I mean, and the new release was good, don't get me wrong.
Oh, so good.
And I think this is kind of you're on 1993. This is like, I don't know about the starting one, but fuck, I am short on memory of exactly what else you would compare as far as on being a literal run and gun type of game. That was Doom, and like you want to go kill some shit, Doom. That's your game.
Rip and tear until you're
rip and tear.
I remember getting this game on I played this game on our very first home PC, which is a compact Presario 486 DX2.
Hey, don't date yourself.
Too late. And we got the shareware version. It wasn't even the full game. And we played it. It was like 4 or 5, like 3.25 inch floppies, or not 3.25, so like 1.25 inch, the small ones, the small hard disks. And I played the bejesus out of that game, and it really set the bar for FPS in PC gaming. Like
Quake.
It set the bar for Quake.
I said I couldn't think of anything else. It just clicked to me. Quake and Doom. That was the shit.
The OGs of arena shooting.
Yeah.
Like that is what they did. And there was some story to it, but for the most part, it was just good carnal, visceral.
Oh yeah, that's me. This is me type of game. Story, okay. Let's go kill some shit. That was Doom. It was fun. I love Doom.
It was just pure fun. It was pure engagement. It lets you release your inner demon and have fun.
Ha pun intended.
Absolutely. I know what I was saying. What are you talking about, Willis?
I'm just surprised should be higher. Top 15, I think.
I think top 15.
Yeah, I don't know.
Set the bar.
I'm
Very,
cool
very
though. 19, whatever. It depends what else is on here, but yeah, I'd say top 15.
Okay.
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger. Again, an RPG that I will never have played.
Gonna be honest with you guys, never heard of it.
Again, it's back in the heyday of the JRPG on Super Nintendo, and it is one of the best of all time. Again,
and you guys are nerds. I never play video games like this.
It started as like kind of a slice of life game that turned very, very quickly into a survival and timelines. And dude, you have a talking frog knight. How cool is that? That is just dope. And you know, some of the character creation was done by Akira Toriyama, the same guy who did Dragon Ball. Like, it's just an exquisite JRPG. It deserves its title in 18. It again, I feel like SNES was the gold era of JRPG, and it kind of just went downhill afterwards, sadly. But like these ones that are hitting in the top 10s and stuff like that, they deserve their place because they set the bar so high for all future RPGs.
18?
18's good. I think 18's solid.
Okay. I have nothing to say about it. I don't know. I've never even heard of it. So sorry guys. Hopefully that doesn't trigger you.
Way
Thank
to go,
you.
Dad.
Portal. Got your dad jokes 2020. Hello. Portal 17.
I think that's a good spot for it, honestly. Did you play Portal?
Yes, I played Portal and Portal 2. I'm assuming Portal 2 must be higher than this one. I don't know why Portal 1 would be higher than that. I don't know. Anyway, so I think in general you're talking about puzzle games, and personally I wasn't really too big into puzzle games by any means, even for this, and maybe not even really played them a crazy amount because I just didn't want to touch them. But Portal as a whole, I think it really took the overall kind of like physics-based gameplay and really made you think as kind of a, you know, brain teaser as far as that goes, and it was actually challenging, but also didn't make it feel boring like puzzle games for me. Like, I guess, you know, there's actually some actual intricate gameplay to it. To me, I guess, I don't know. Like other puzzle games just is boring. Yes. No, but it did make you use your brain, but it didn't make you feel like that's all you were doing, is my point. Right. Because other games, like you do puzzle games, just like okay, you're literally just making me do this shit. Just open a fucking door. Like, it's annoying. But I mean, really, that's what bothers me. I'm just like, come on. Like, it's, you know, I can figure it out, but you know, I don't know.
It's boring to figure out.
Yes, yeah. So, but I thought it was fun, and the quips and the overall dialogue. That's the funnest shit. I laughed my ass off in this game, and Portal 2 even more. But the same thing with other games, just like puzzles without that, it wasn't fun then, you know, just But
no, I agree 150%. Like the puzzles in the game are just challenging enough. You know, you had things like the companion cube, the character quips, and the character just design in general. Like, Gladys was the star of the show. I mean, you played a mute protagonist called Shell, which fine, whatever. But Gladys brought so much to life, being an artificial AI, that made doing the puzzles enjoyable. You know, her mocking and giving you a companion cube, and then you having to destroy it literally the next one over. Like, there's just so much. And then you had the song at the end with the, you know, God, what was the name of the song? I can't remember. Oh,
I don't remember either.
Something Alive. It was what it was. And you had the Cake Was a Lie memes. Like, it started a whole wave.
The Cake Was a Lie is a freaking huge meme.
Yeah. It contributes so much to the culture that it deserves its spot at 17.
I'm cool with 17. Portal 2 should be higher, though. Again, I'm assuming. I think Halo 2 and Portal 2, we haven't ran into it yet.
Yeah.
I like have to be higher than on this list. Like I say, I'm not even saying that Portal 2 should even be top 15 or even Halo 2. I just find it weird that those games wouldn't be higher than their previous ones. I don't know. Anyways. Oh, God.
Dark Souls.
I'm cool with where it's at. That's all I gotta say. We already talked about Dark Souls series.
Dark Souls deserves a slot at 16.
Yep, I'm cool.
It's the best.
Yep, I don't mind where it's at. I have no issues or quarrels with that. Yeah, we already talked about it earlier. No reason to beat a dead horse. We disagree. Agree to disagree. Street Fighter 2, 15. Okay, I'm cool with top 15. I honestly would assume top 10, but I know I can think of a lot of games myself that I would understand why Street Fighter 2 wouldn't be top 10. Like, I'm okay with top 15, but I feel like there's merit for it to be top 10. I think Street Fighter 2, as far as whenever we talked earlier, as far as on Miss Pac-Man, same concept that you talk about, the arcade game that was like, that was the start of fighting games, and people would get competitive as shit in this game, like screaming at each other, spending hundreds of dollars. Guys, people spent more money like 6 times over than you spend on your $60 game today today that you complain about. They probably spent like $500-$600 on Street Fighter 2 just kicking the shit out of their friends, honestly.
And it's just that whole, it started the whole, you know, putting the quarter up on the dash of the cabinet, saying,
dibs.
I got next.
Exactly.
You know, it is just, it was a delight. And then when it came to Super Nintendo, like it brought, you know, fighting games to, you know, to the consoles. And then that's how we got Mortal Kombat. And that's how we got, it literally is the entry point and the granddaddy of fighting games. And it's deserved to be at 15 because it started the culture and brought it mainstream. And it deserves to be there.
Again, I agree. Top 15. I would even say arguments of top 10. I can think of games that could keep it out of the top 10, but it's just like, I understand that there would be argument for it to be top 10.
Correct.
Super Mario Bros. I'm very surprised it's not higher. Gonna be completely honest. I don't think of anybody who does not know who Mario is. I mean, that's literally the video game. I don't think there's argument on that Mario is where it started. To me, I guess, you know, like as far as like mainstream, like everyone talked about it, everyone played it, everyone understood it, and it still is today. Like as far as you're talking about since 1985, that 2020, that's a fucking long time. Like, jeez. But in general, though, so I mean, in general, though, I mean, you're talking about this is where it started, and again, there's the overall impact of the game as far as back then, even today, like you can go back and still have fun with this game. I understand side scrollers aren't like a big thing nowadays because you have like the visually impacting part of everything else, but side scrollers wise, like that's probably still the best side scroller game around, and that's with, you know, 40 years of other games being made.
I mean, it brought iconic music. It's, again, arcades. People slam their quarters in.
That game, or not that game, that song that you all hum in your head like every other day, and you hate yourself because you can't get it out of your head. That's because of this game. So just remember that.
Exactly. It brought the video game console community back from the crash that was earlier, and it brought console gaming to homes. And I will forever be grateful to Nintendo for bringing console gaming to life again. And it needed. I don't know what I'd be here and doing if it wasn't for them. So deserved to be at 14. I wish it probably should be higher, but
I can think of a couple different Mario games that are number one, but a Mario game has to be number one.
You think?
Otherwise, I disagree with this list.
All right, fair enough. Let's continue.
I can think of 2. I'm not going to say it because I think they're probably both on this list, so I don't want to like give ahead. I don't know.
Right.
But I feel like if it's not number one, it had like that's wrong. That has to be number one. I can't think of another game. Like I really can't. But anyways, we'll see.
That's been more impactful.
Halo 2, told you. I was gonna say, I was like, it had to be higher. I'm cool with 13. I think in general, again, this is where online gameplay became a humongous thing, even PC and console wise. That this was like the first mass online game that everyone was playing and everyone was into. There wasn't like many people you ran into who did not like Halo 2. I don't know, like as far as on the overall breakdown. You didn't like it?
I don't like Halo. I never have.
Okay.
My buddies were into it, but for me, it just isn't. I was an RPG guy. I wasn't really a shooter guy. And so, like, the only shooters I really played.
But you like CS.
I do like CS, but it's nothing like CS.
I know, but I'm saying shooters. That's just not a good reason. That's not shooters wise. That can't be the reason.
That's fine. It's just not my style of shooter. How's that?
Okay, this is like my disgust with your Dark Souls thing. Okay. I see the feeling now.
Yeah, you feel what I'm feeling there.
Halo 2, top 15 easily in my opinion. As a series, top 10, even regardless of biasm or not. Like I think top 10 as a series. Like if we're talking about that way.
I can't argue its placement just for the simple fact of how it revolutionized console FPS and bringing it online.
Yeah, like, I think it's one of the most.
I want to complain about it, but that's.
Yeah.
I have to look at it as a whole, and it did incredible things for what it is.
Yeah. So. And if you haven't played any of the Halo series, the newer ones suck. Don't. To be honest, if anybody's younger is watching, just didn't really have the chance to play Halo 2, 3, etc. If you haven't heard, PC Reach just came out as far as they released it. Reach is not great. It's okay, and it's whenever Halo started to die, to be honest with you. But Halo Combat Evolved is starting testing coming February as far as on being released on PC. So that'll be your first time that you can play online on Halo Combat Evolved on PC, and they're going in chronological order. So Reach, Halo CE, Halo 2, and Halo 3. So if you have never played them, in general, PC, it'll be coming out. Play them. Halo 2, it'll be probably the most hype thing as far as on whenever that comes out. Halo CE has already had pretty big hype coming around it. So just a little bit of extra tidbit information. Castlevania.
Symphony of the Night.
I'm cool with where it's at. Never played it. I have watched a lot of it. I've watched a shitload of GDQ of it.
Yep.
A lot. And it's fun to watch GDQ-wise. I have watched it streamed outside of that. I think it's very slow when if somebody doesn't know what they're doing, I guess, to me. So I got kind of bored just watching it. Maybe playing wise probably behind, but
it brought the term Metrovania to the forefront. It literally kind of defined the genre. Because Metroid was its own thing, Castlevania was its own thing, and then Symphony of the Night came out and married the two together in some sort of weird harmony that has never been fully explained, but it works. It has a lot of deep RPG elements. It has side-scrolling and exploration. It has unique monsters and a wonderful story. Like it's the cream of the crop, and it elevates like the idea of Metroid and Castlevania to the next level. And there hasn't really been a game to touch it since. Like Bloodstained is a new one that came out, and it's been kind of close because it's done by IGA, but it is not. It just like you would say people would touch this for like nostalgia reasons, that rose-colored glass kind of thing. But I still think it holds up, and I still think it's one of the best games I've ever played of all time. It's definitely in my top 10 as far as what it is. It's just a good game, and it deserves to be there.
Like I said, I didn't play it. 12, I'm cool with though. I think as far as a overall just game, very well made. I think in general, and when you talk about 1997, bear in mind too. But I mean, very well made, and as far as a whole, just watching it, and again, at some point I should probably play it. Not my type of style. That's why I've never bought it, just to be honest. And probably people figured that out by now throughout this podcast. But in general, though, probably a game I could pick up and probably actually at least try out. And I think I would enjoy it from the speedrunning side of what they were doing because it was so fast paced, and I thought that was interesting. And it intrigued me enough that I would watch the whole entire run, and I thought it was interesting. So if that means anything to anybody.
No, that does mean anything.
It's efficiency for me.
GDQ does some cool stuff and actually brings games people never would have thought of.
Yep, and what you just said, Games Done Quick, sorry, is GDQ for anybody who doesn't know that and never watched it. In general, awesome community. I personally have never done speedrunning, but it literally is so immersive, and you can just like it just happened 2 weeks ago, I think that was on, maybe a week.
Yeah.
But in general, it's just week long. They do it every single year for charity, and as a whole, it's fun just watching those games. And for me, I love that efficiency side of it. So, in this game is one of them that I've watched quite a bit, and I think it's just a blast actually watching it. So, worth checking out though. Grand Theft Auto, okay.
They're not even like numbered. It's just the entire
franchise. No, it's numbered. That's 5.
Oh, 5. I didn't play 5. I've never been a big Grand Theft Auto fan. I played it because it was so controversial on PS2. But for the most part, it just didn't. I mean, I appreciate the fact it's an open world kind of like you can get cars, you can do all kinds of open world missions, and sometimes you don't even have to do the missions. You can just go around causing havoc and mayhem, just if you want to. But for me, it never. I don't.
You little psychos who love to do that,
right? I just want to blow up the world. I don't know. I mean, I can't deny its placing. Like, as much as I don't like the.
I don't think it's top 10.
No.
I think it's Grand Theft Auto as far as the whole entire series. Like you said, the overall open world side of it, that was kind of the first ones. Not Grand Theft Auto 5, obviously, but if we're talking just Grand Theft Auto as a whole. I think Grand Theft Auto 5 is actually probably the best one. I hope not to see one higher on the list. I don't know why there would be, honestly. But in general, I think Grand Theft Auto 5 is probably the best one just for the overall breakdown that the online play is what made it so much more immersive. All the overall You could do the overall heists and all the different kind of like racing. There was so much more that you could do with it versus where, you know, you kind of grew up on it, the nostalgic side of it, like Vice City and such, that you would play those and it was kind of like what you said, you know, just open world, kind of do the missions, go off and, you know, run over pedestrians because you're a psycho type of thing. Hey guys, I did that. Took the strippers' money. It's fun.
They killed them in the
But
back alley.
top 10, no. Where it's at,
It's
top
where it is.
top 20, I think. I mean, like, I'm okay with 11. I don't know. I mean, what else do we have behind this?
I mean, there's games.
I think Halo 2 is higher than that. Super Mario Brothers should be higher than it. Street Fighter.
Yeah.
I would
a lot of games.
Yeah, I don't know. I think some of these games here I think should be higher than that, but oh well. Super Mario 64.
Top 10. Mario 64. I'm gonna get some heat for this. I didn't like Mario 64.
Get out.
Was not a fan.
Why?
I don't know if it was like too surreal or anything like that. It didn't feel fun. You know why I know why you liked it is because you killed the little penguins. I know you liked it. You pitched that little penguin off the side of the map so many times. I know you did. I know.
No, I actually protected the penguins. I brought them down the mountain with me. Because I'm a good, kind, gentle-hearted soul, and I would never do something like that or make fun of my friends mercilessly before we start the podcast. Hello, guys. I should just hit the record button before we start, and he makes fun of me a lot, guys. He's mean.
Our banter.
Yeah, that's this week's edition.
I can't deny, right? Exactly. I can't deny that Mario 64 changed the metric because it was a 3D Mario. It's like the first of 3D Marios. And, you know, that's now why we have Super Mario Sunshine and, you know, was it Super Mario Galaxy and things of that nature. Like, it set the bar for that. And as far as that goes, I can't take that away from it. I think it's an excellent game. I just don't think it's top 10 worthy.
It's top 10. It's top 10 in the first place. I think Super Mario 64, as far as an overall game, I grew up on Super Mario 64. And one, that's what sticks with me the most in the first place. But there was so much content to that game, and you're talking about the first 3D type of game. As far as on, that's whenever it kind of opened up the overall world to that. Come on, 1996. Bear in mind, it opened up the whole entire world of that kind of game, not just Mario, that type of game as a whole. So one, that was the game that started everything there for you, not just Mario. And secondly, the overall, it was an open world. So don't get me wrong when I say this, it's not open world, but it was an open world. Like, it's very immersive as far as on the different things that you could do. There's a lot of content driven in the overall game. You literally could play that shit for like, you know, 500 hours to 1,000 hours and not even realize it. And you're just finishing up the game trying to kill Bowser at the very last stage and hit his stupid little tail ass on those bombs and he'd fuck you up like 10 times. My dumb ass at 7 couldn't figure out how to throw him, so. But top 10, either way, yeah.
All right.
Not top 10, on the other hand.
Red Dead. Yeah, I don't think it deserves top 10.
Why Grand Theft Auto under Red Dead? Red Dead is literally a knockoff of Grand Theft Auto, but it's Western.
Right, exactly. And
I don't get it.
Really, it's got to be the story because Grand Theft Auto really doesn't have a story per se.
I guess if that's your point, then sure. I mean, story-wise, it was a good story as far as I followed it and I played it. I just don't get. It's not top 10 though.
John Marston, who's the character you're seeing there, is like one of the most iconic gaming like personas in games, and so I'm assuming that's why he's up there, is because like his story is phenomenal in the game. I never played it. I know the story though, and I've seen the cutscenes and stuff like that. So I understand the hype for it. I don't think it's top 10. I'd put it in like top 20, but I don't think it's top 10.
No, not number 9. I don't get it.
No. Pass.
That's all I gotta say about it. Half-Life 2.
Woo! All right, so we're moving up. So Half-Life started the whole thing with Half-Life and the mods for prop hunt and stuff like that. Half-Life 2 is just more of the goody same. It's more beautiful, better characters.
I don't understand the top 10 though. Flip the games. Half-Life 8. I'm cool with where that's at, but why? I don't understand what's so different about Half-Life 2. Why that would be a better game. Now, like, when I compare Halo 2 to like Combat Evolved or Portal 2 to Portal, because Portal 2 better still be on this list, and I would almost even say I'm okay with it being top 10. Now, to the point as far as on Half-Life 2, what makes Half-Life 2 different than Half-Life?
I think it's just because it was a newer Half-Life, and I say that because like the graphically was more impressive. The story, you actually had more characters, i.e., Alex and her robot dog, and like there's just more depth in story there, which drew more people out. You know what I mean? Like in the first one, you just had Gordon and that weird, creepy lawyer guy. I forget his name. And that was pretty much predominantly it. Like this just took the base game and elevated it a bit, story wise and content wise. That's probably the only thing it has going for it in that regard.
I guess.
Newer.
Now, do keep in mind, I'm not saying like, hey, Half-Life 2 was shit. Right. I'm just saying, as far as the games, like, I don't feel like that's enough to merit that Half-Life 1 as far as a game. I think it still should be higher than Half-Life 2, and to just flip the spots. And I'm okay with the placings on either one, having whichever one where. I just don't understand Half-Life 2, I guess. Like, I'm okay with a little bit of your reasoning, but I don't think it's a merit to actually say as far as on Half-Life where it started at, because that's where, it originally is organic. That's where it started at, and that's where it built off of. Half-Life 2 did not build off of it enough to make it a better game than Half-Life 1, in my opinion.
No, I see what you're saying, and I can respect that. Moving down.
Tetris. Whoo, doggy.
All right. Top 7.
All right, where's Asteroids and Pinball?
Right? Where's Asteroids and Pinball? I don't think it was the Pinball. Maybe Asteroids or galaxies.
Dude, Pinball. I paid the piss out of Pinball. Same thing. Solitaire. Tetris. Yeah, it was Pinball, Tetris, Solitaire, and Minesweeper. Yes. That was the 4 games. I played that every single day after school. My dad had his computer work. He's a mechanic for everybody here, so he had his computer in the office in the shop. I would go in there every single day after school, and I'd play that shit for like 3 hours until he got off work. Those 4 games. God. Tetris, I'm cool. Top 10. There's not much to say about Tetris. If you don't know what Tetris is, then
puzzle matching game that like again started the whole like puzzle matching game. That's how we got our Dr. Mario's. That's how we got Yoshi's Cookie, I think, was another one, and things of that nature. It just is what it is, and it's good at what it is. It's simplicity in its purest.
Yep, still a game to this day that you can play, and it's just like it's very simple. I mean, there's nothing crazy to it, but it's fun. It's just a relaxing game to kind of play. But I'm cool though. Top 10, top 10 as far as it goes. Super Mario Bros. 3.
Top 6. I would put this in like top 5.
Yeah,
I don't think 6 is.
This is the one of the 2 games that I thought would be number 1. One of the 2.
Bottom line, this is arguably the best Mario in existence. Like, there's probably one more that somebody would argue, i.e., Super Mario World.
That's what I'm thinking is number 1. If this isn't number 1, that has to be number 1. That's what I was saying before. Like, I don't understand why, out of all games, that has to be number 1. And like I said, I could argue this one or that one, and that's the 2 that I had in mind when I said that earlier.
Right, and I have a lot of fond memories of Super Mario Brothers 3. Like, it even spawned a movie. It made a showing in a movie, The Wizard, with freaking God, what was his name? Fred Savage.
Oh, okay.
In the Power Glove. Like, it is iconic. It is fun. It is innovative because you have the new suits. And it was multiplayer. And like, it is just that good. Period. Paragraph. End of sentence.
Yep. Yeah. If that is not number 1, then this should be top 5.
Yes.
And again, I think this should be number 1 if that is what. I don't know, but either way, we'll see. It has to be. I don't understand why this or World would not be 1. I do not get it.
I agree. Yeah, there's no way.
All right, number 5, Breath of the Wild. Okay, we talked about this earlier, so not much to really grow on. I mean, I think as far as an overall game, it was released in 2017. If you haven't played it, I've played it. I've watched speed runs of it. I've watched just straight up streams of it. Guys, this literal speed run to this game, for anybody who has not actually done this, Terra Tactical, one of my close friends as far as on Twitch, he does speed run it. So if you're into speed runs, make sure you go check him out in the first place. But also, it's literally a 9-hour session, and then you take a break, and then you do another 9-hour session. You have a break to sleep.
Yep.
That's how long this game. That's a speed run, guys. It's not like, oh hey, I'm just going to take a break for a little bit and finish up the game like every other game. You put in 18 hours and I'm done. No, that's literally a speed run, and like he works it and practices it. I watched him build from the ground up, like the very beginning. Like I watched him since the start, and practice runs upon practice runs over a year, and he's still nowhere near close to like the world top. Like with no crack at him. It's a lot of work.
It's hard. Yeah, I was about
But
to say that's a tough
you're
game to
talking
speak
about
on.
you're talking about there's literally a break in the game. That's how much content is in this game, and just the visual aspect of this game is astonishing, graphics wise. 2017 again. I think I don't remember what game we were talking about earlier. I know we were talking about like the same year as far as games like being like that visually aesthetic.
Last one was-
Yeah, 2013. So, but same concept you're talking about, like as far as games, as far as now, it's just like this in 2017 was like blowing out the water as far as on overall visual impact. And I think they did a really good job. The overall story, same thing with Zelda. I agree. I don't think there should be any other Zelda higher on this list, but I wouldn't even be worried about this being top 3. I'm surprised it's kind of 5.
I'm hoping that that Link to the Past shows up, because to me that is like the epitome of.
You think higher than this?
I think yes. I think it's way better than Breath of the Wild. But
really?
That's a personal opinion. And I hope it's on the list because it deserves a spot on the list. But Breath of the Wild is a gorgeous game. I'm not going to take anything away from it. I haven't played it, so I don't really have a horse in the race. But from the stuff that I've seen of it and people playing it,
I haven't even finished the game.
Looks like it deserves it.
Like, I probably played it for like 15, 20 hours, and I don't even mind close to finishing that game.
So I'm not knocking its place. I just think there are better Zelda games.
I think that should be the highest one. Either way.
All right. Fair enough.
But I'm saying top 3. Like I think, like depending on what else is on here. If it's not Mario World top, I swear to God.
I swear to God.
Super Metroid, number 4.
Okay, deserves its spot.
I'm cool.
It is a top 4 game of all time.
I'm cool. Yep. We talked about Metroid already. I don't think there's really much else to really talk about. I personally didn't play this one, so I don't have much else to add.
It's a staple on games done quick. It is a staple anywhere you see in retro gaming. It deserves its spot. It's a wonderful game.
Yep. All right. Portal 2 called it. Right. Number 3. I'm surprised with 3. I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit too high.
I think that this was a great evolution of Portal. Honestly. They ramped up.
I'm cool with it being in top 10. I'm very okay with being top 10. I'm very okay with being top 10. Number 3 seems a little bit high. Maybe like 5 through 8, somewhere in that ballpark. All right. I'm very okay. It's a very, very good game. I'm a little bit weirded out that it's 3. It just seems weird to me. Like I see Portal 2, I'm like, wow, that's the 3rd best game of all time. I don't know. Like that's weird to me. I don't know.
I think it deserves that slot, honestly. Like for me, it took the Portal formula and just elevated it to the next level.
Okay.
And the dialogue was great. The puzzles were great. Co-op was amazing. I watched Shroomy Doom and Kit Fox Ame.
Oh God, that's
this game. It was the funniest thing I had ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah. I watched some of that because I was watching from Kit's side. Oh God.
Watching Shroomy bounce infinitely this time jump was the most brilliant thing I'd have ever seen.
Oh Lord. I don't know. As a game though, same concept as Portal as before, like you said, just enhanced everything. I mean, as a game again, it's a very good game. Definitely, like I said, I personally say like 5 through 8. Like I'm still cool either way. It's still a very good game. I'm not even mad that it's number 3. It's just like when I say that out loud, that just seems weird to me. And like, oh yeah, Portal 2 is number 3. Just like, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right. But anyways, all right. I swear to God, number 2 and 1. I swear, if Mario is not number 1, I'm gonna freak out. Okay, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Okay, you're right. Okay.
Yo, boy knows what he's talking about.
All right. I don't know. I'm still in disagreement. I still think that I don't know. I don't think this is higher, but as far as nostalgia, sure. I get it.
It had some of the best puzzles. It was, it kept true to the overhead cam of the original Zelda. It was just a pure evolution of Zelda, and from its base roots, that it was phenomenal.
But if we compare it to what our whole entire our premise of what we've been talking about is that let's go back and play this game and then go play Breath of the Wild. Which one's better?
I'm going to tell you it's Link to the Past.
You're going to go play, you'd play that game and then go play Breath of the Wild, and you think that this is better than Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
Nostalgia out of the question.
Nostalgia out of the question. I will tell you that 100%. I can firmly tell you that.
You haven't played Breath of the Wild, though.
I'll tell you what, I'll play Breath of the Wild, and then I will play Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, and I'll even stream it. I'm not afraid. And I will tell you how I feel after it.
But it can't be nostalgia-based.
It won't be nostalgia based because I'm playing the new one first, and then I'll play the old one.
No, because then that would be nostalgia based. You should play the old one first.
Okay, I'll play the old one first. That's fine.
Right? Care. Isn't that fair? I mean, you should play the old one first,
fine,
and then you kind of redo it. You're like, okay, well, this is what it was like, and then okay, now I'm into the newer one.
Okay, I can bite that.
I'm cool either way with where this is at. I just don't understand. I think Breath of the Wild should be above this one. I get why this would be put up here for nostalgia reasons. I do get it. Like, I understand where the thought process comes from and where the argument comes from. It's just odd to me. Like, as far as a game versus a game, not
graphically
nostalgia.
Doesn't always mean better.
I'm not saying graphically. I'm saying story, graphics, everything. It's a game. Everything wrapped up into it. It's a game. And graphics, I would say, is the least impactful thing as far as what my argument is, because I don't believe comparing 1991 versus 2018 is good. Like, that's not fair. So I don't care about that.
The only I've seen the Breath of the Wild stuff. My biggest beef with Breath of the Wild is durability on weapons.
But why is that a bad thing?
Because breaking weapons in the middle of the combat was never part of the freaking Zelda like chemistry. It never was, and that bothers me.
Okay, I'm cool with either way. That these are top 5. I would even, like I said, like I would be cool with this being 5 and that being 4 or whatever. But
Super Mario Brother World, or Super Mario World, where we're gonna.
I'm gonna freak out. It cannot. I literally cannot think of another game.
I can't either.
At least it has to be Mario, right? I mean, but it has to be Mario World, right?
Because that's the only one that makes sense. If they put like Mario Brothers 2 on there, I'm gonna
Super Mario World. Okay, all right. Okay, IGN. Good job.
All right, fine. We're on the same page.
Okay, I don't have much else to add. This is just literally the game. I mean, we called that what at 15? Like something that. Like that. Yeah. I knew I was between 3 and Super Mario World. I was between both because I think it's argumentative that between both. I'm completely okay with it. Yep, I think Super Mario World, but either one needs to be number 1 as far as on any list, in my opinion. It's just Mario. There's no, like, you don't have to like really go that in depth with it. Everyone understands it.
Of Mario.
Mario.
Sorry.
Mario. Yeah. Croissant.
Croissant. It's also the first one to add Yoshi into the game, and it's just good. Bottom line, it's just good.
You go back today, and it's still a blast. I don't know. Like,
it really is.
Yeah, I'm okay. All right, at least I'm happy. I was scared that there was going to be something else. Because some of these, it's a little bit weird. Like, I'm not going to lie.
The placement's just odd on some of these.
Yeah, so, but
I'm okay with it. The top 10 seems to be pretty
top 10 was
solid.
okay. I didn't disagree with many of these. I think we disagreed with one.
One, which was Red Dead.
Red Dead, yeah. So it was Red Dead that I disagreed with. We talked about Half-Life 2 and Half-Life just kind of switching places, but I'm okay with either one being there.
Yep.
And you disagreed with Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
I don't know what else would go in top 10 though, really. Outside of like the other ones that we kind of looked at here and just for my brain. I
put Symphony of the Night in top 10 because I think it's that groundbreaking.
Okay.
But that's just me.
I'm cool with that. Like switching places like Red Dead or even Mario 64 for your
I would
case.
Put Symphony over Red Dead, but that's just me.
Yeah. I don't understand Red Dead. I don't think it's a top 20 game, not top 10. But
I agree.
Either way. That was the overall IGN list. We obviously have a lot of different views, but we kind of knew that, and that was kind of the fun part. We talked about some of this stuff for like 20 minutes beforehand, so we thought it'd be fun to kind of go over it. So,
I can't imagine doing 100. We'd have to split this into 2.
Oh yeah, good lord.
Like an hour and a half.
I don't know. Maybe we'll make our own list though sometime, and maybe just make our own and kind of do that. I think that'd be kind of fun. But general guys, make sure to comment. Tell us what your favorite games are. Give us like a top 10 as far as what's kind of stuck with you or your overall nostalgia. Because again, like Halo 2, that's probably number 1 for me. So it's like everyone has their different tastes as far as on what it is,
Yep.
And
number 1 for me is Bloodborne.
Yep. Yep. But in general, guys, make sure to comment what your favorite games are. Tell us what you think. And again, we'll probably I think it'd be fun. I think we might actually do that. Make our own tier list and maybe make like our top 20 all time or something. Maybe do that for one of our podcasts here. But I had a lot of fun.
Like and subscribe, and if you do, I guarantee you that your classiness will go up 1,000%.
1,000%, guys. All thousands of them.
Yep. So if you're at 0, you go up to 1,000%. If you're like you've already reached the echelon, it's fine. It's just icing on the cake.
Yeah, guys, we are trying to do podcasts every 2 weeks basically. So every Sunday we'll try and record and then get one out. If not, we'll get it posted by that week. But so make
the
sure
following day or something like that. You know, we'll try and make it as religious as possible. You know what I mean?
Yep. And again, yeah, like and subscribe to follow the overall content. Also, make sure to check out my Twitch channel at Ivory TV, and then also the Dapper Chap on Twitch. We both do stream on Twitch, so you can check us out there. But otherwise, you can find
on
all
Twitter as well if you'd like.
Yep. Okay, check out that all in the comments to follow the content. But again, guys, thanks for hanging out. Had a lot of fun with it, and hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week and on the next podcast.
Stay classy, everybody.